Okay, so this short video is just going to give you some tips on how to complete the orthographic views of the radio. So I'm using a HB pencil here, and I'm going to start off with light lines, and these are going to be used to build up the drawing or the sketch afterwards. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to start off by sketching a horizontal line, nice and light, like so. Okay, and that this horizontal line is going to be where I'm going to place my front elevation and end elevation. Okay, next thing I'm going to this has to be a well proportioned sketch. Okay, as you can see here. So I'm going to draw another horizontal line parallel to this one, nice and light. Okay, and what that's going to do is that's going to give me the heights for both the front elevation and the end elevation. Okay, so I'm going to start at the front elevation. I'm looking at the width of the radio here itself. Okay, so I'm lightly going to draw in a vertical line here to represent the left vertical edge, and another vertical line over here to represent this vertical edge here. Okay. Now I'm going to leave a small space between this vertical line, which is representing the vertical edge of the radio, and that's where I'm going to position my end elevation. So sketching another vertical line, and I'm going to keep the proportion of the distance from front to back. I'm sketching in that line there. Okay. Alright. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to complete the perimeter of the radio itself. So over here I'm just going to round these edges, okay, like so, because I want to keep that nice rounded edge appearance. Exact same thing here, so we're just rounding off the corners and down at the bottom as well. Okay, so that's the first thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to lean it, just all I'm doing is leaning heavier on the pencil like so. I'm just going to heavy in the perimeter of this radio, or the outline of it. So keeping those corners nice and rounded like so. Back round. Okay, alright, so I'm also going to just heavy in the outline of our end elevation as well, which is this. If you can imagine that I am positioned here and I'm looking in that direction. Okay, so that's my end elevation, and for my elevation I'm in this position looking in at that surface there. Okay. So I'm just heavying in the perimeter to represent the end elevation. Okay. Now you can see that the heights of the end elevation and the elevation are the exact same, and both are resting on the same baseline. Alright, next thing I'm going to draw in the plan view. And the plan view is what I see if I were up here looking down on top. So the width in plan, as you've seen in the video, the previous video, should be the same as the elevation. So to keep the proportions correct, I'm just going to ghost down a line. So a vertical line down here, and that's just to help me ensure that the width of the plan is the exact same. Now remember, the plan always appears directly underneath the elevation. So I'm just going to keep a similar space between elevation and plan. Horizontal line to represent the back edge of the radio. Another line parallel to that to represent the front edge. Okay, so next thing I'm going to heavy that in. I'm just adjusting that line slightly. So heavy it in like so. There we are. Alright, so now I have the outline of my front elevation. Here. Underneath is the plan view, and this is my end elevation. Okay, so the last thing I need to do is I need to add in these features that I would see in front elevation. So the very first thing that stands out for me here is this circular shape here. So this is like the lens. So I need to keep this proportion. I can see that it's quite large